going on, people? It's your boy brasstax. Happy 2021. This is the first that I'm dropping this year, so hello. I know some of you guys were thinking that maybe I've disappeared. It's been quiet, so I took a step back into the shadows, chilled with the family, did my thing, watched some movies, enjoyed my TV, did some work also. But Wonder Woman 84 is back, so is your boy. It's been crazy, huh? A lot of people were saying, 2021 is gonna change. We're gonna get rid of all the BS from 2020. Guess what? Didn't happen, did it? Didn't happen. We're still in the same mess that we were in last year. It's got worse now. Trump's out. Our royal family is apparently racist. Men could potentially have a curfew at 6 p.m. If you don't know any of these things I'm talking about, you better just watch the news. The world is becoming a crazy place. I ain't gonna lie to you. There may be a new addition to the brasstax family soon. We're not talking kids. We're not talking babies. If you think I'm gonna bring a baby into this world, into this super outraged Brady Bunch place we call Earth, you've got another thing coming. No, we're not talking kids. We're talking doggy baby. We're talking a puppy. Get myself a nice blue staffy, nice little pit bull. Yeah, they say the dogs look like their owners. It's gonna look like me, I ain't gonna lie to you. Both of us walking down the park like 4K rock stars. But enough about that, let's talk Wonder Woman 84. I watched it on HBO Max first. I'm gonna give you my brief thoughts about it before I get into the 4K Blu-ray review. Now look, how do I word this? Now, I understand there needs to be some sort of suspension of disbelief when you're watching superhero movies. I get it. I understand, okay? When I'm watching Superman fly through the air, I know a man can't fly, because if he could, his name would be brasstax in this bitch. Now, Gal Gadot. Now, I'm saying Gal Gadot because she likes it pronounced that way. Yeah, Gal Gadot. I was saying Gal Gadot before because I was trying to sound posh. It's not the way it's pronounced. It's Gal Gadot. I think she's perfect as Wonder Woman. I think she's brilliant. I have no issues with her whatsoever. When she did the Imagine thing way back, it bugged me, but that's another video right there. Anyway, I loved the first movie. I thought it was great. I thought it had a good sense of charm to it. It was funny. It was amusing. Special effects were decent. Wasn't a big fan of the third act in the last movie. It was too CGI heavy and very noticeable CGI at that. Suffice it to say, I was expecting pretty much more of the same from Wonder Woman 84. Now, sure, it was going to be a little bit more campy because it's set in 1984. Director's trying to channel, Richard Donner's Superman and stuff. I get it. And Steve's back, and I really liked Steve. I really did. And I thought, okay, this is going to be cool. The first 10-12 minutes in Themyscira, the IMAX scenes look absolutely superb, right? I enjoyed that. And overall, I was getting in tune with the movie. I was following it through. I was enjoying it. But here's the thing. Suspension of disbelief. I'm all for Wonder Woman doing her thing. But god damn, you're taking suspension of disbelief to a whole other level. I mean, look at how Steve comes back. I mean, are you serious? The thing is, I'm watching this movie, even Marvel movies, right? You take Endgame, you take any of the Marvel movies, although you are suspending disbelief, the story somehow is logical to a certain degree. This story doesn't make any damn sense. Steve comes back and I'm sitting there watching this movie thinking, this is weird. This isn't right. Something wrong with this. He's in another guy's body. We see the other guy. She sees Steve. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. Why would they do it in such a convoluted way? Okay, I'm going to say this, and this is going to generate some heat. I think Pedro Pascal is overrated as an actor, okay? I loved him in Game of Thrones. He was in there briefly, yeah, but I thought he was brilliant. That's the only movie I liked, and maybe Narcos he was good. That's it. Right? His accent changes every scene in this movie. Now, Pedro Pascal is going to be playing Joel in the Last of Us series, right? I don't have my hopes up, people. I don't know what to say. And can we just talk about the wishes in the movie for a second, right? He grants wishes to everyone, right? Grants 2 wishes to some people, and it's all convoluted. It doesn't make sense. Kristen Wiig plays herself in every movie. She plays the same character. A little bit awkward. Same thing. She gets 2 wishes. She wants to be an apex predator, right? First, she wants to be like Diana, gets all the powers, then she wants to be Apex Predator. Just to amuse myself, I looked up the top 10 in Apex Predators just to see where Cheetah stood. It wasn't even in the top 10. You know what number 1 was? Killer Whales. Okay? She should have been a killer whale. I'd have paid to see that. Wonder Woman against a killer whale. Now, I haven't seen Cats, but I've seen the trailers, right? And Cheetah looks like she has been migrated over from that movie to this one, okay? The CGI of her is pretty bad. Yeah, so that's also distracting. Wait a minute. Are we going to talk about the physics of this movie? Wonder Woman 84 is the cyberpunk of physics. There, I've said it. I mean, her lasso isn't even moving the right way. Okay? She's not even jumping the right way. She's not even falling the right way. Okay? These little things are very hard to overlook. Now she can make things invisible. How convenient is that? Guess what? She can fly now. Now, I know what you're going to say. In the comics, she flies and she's got an invisible chopper. I know these things. But in the movie, they just seem very convenient. No build up to anything at all. And it's infuriating because there is a good movie in here somewhere. There are parts of the movie which I really liked. I liked her vulnerability, the fact that she lost her powers. That's always a good thing. I like to see superheroes vulnerable, right? Her and Steve was sweet. That was a sweet situation right there, you know? But overall, it's just let down by its own stupidity, in my opinion. But it is just my opinion. That's what I thought of the movie. A good movie which is let down by a bad script. It's my thoughts on that. Now let's get down to the 4K Blu-ray. Warner Brothers, native 4K DI, Dolby Vision with HDR, IMAX scenes, and you got the black bars too. Dolby Atmos, 151 minutes, and it's a 100 gig disc. Now, if you've watched the 4K digital Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision version, then you kind of know what to expect. The one thing I will say is where 4K physical beats digital, it's definitely in the IMAX scenes. It's immediately obvious, it's sharper, it's more detailed, it's a bit more punchy. And there's a bit more detail in movement throughout the movie, a little more sharper. But it's not a huge night and day difference except the IMAX scenes. There's only 2 IMAX scenes, but they do stand out significantly on physical. And overall, a physical produces a better picture. By how much is going to depend on your eyes. Now, in terms of detail, it looks very, very similar to the first Wonder Woman movie. There is grain, it's a filmic image, not overpowering at all, but you know it's there. Strands of hair, pores, textures in the clothing, Wonder Woman's armor, wrinkles are more obvious here on 4K. I watched the 1080p too, and the 4K is definitely superior. Especially on Gal Gadot's armor as well. Wonder Woman's armor looks spectacular. I mean, you look close enough, you can see scuff marks, little light scratches in certain areas, and the IMAX scenes are spectacular. Like, even you can see individual bricks on some of the buildings, you know, the whole race at the beginning when a young Wonder Woman is traversing through all of these multiple obstacles to win. You're seeing a lot more detail in the brickwork, and generally overall that you're just not going to see on Blu-ray. You're not going to see that. It looks amazing in parts. Another thing that separates it from the original Wonder Woman movie is definitely the pastel-y kind of look. I kind of feel that the original movie was a bit more muted in color. This one is exactly the opposite. It's bold, it's vibrant, it's very much in your face. I do miss 1984, baby. So overall, a nice, sharp, detailed picture, which the 1080p can't do, looks absolutely splendid in both the IMAX scenes. So I can't really imagine you having much to complain about. It's a decent looking movie with some eye-popping moments. Now, when we talk about the HDR, the high dynamic range, the Dolby Vision, what I will say is I watched it in both. I felt the HDR overall produced a brighter image, but Dolby Vision was more nuanced. And it had more pop in places, but was a little darker overall. But with better peak highlights for sure. It's not a HDR extravaganza. It's a very filmic look. There are certain scenes where the HDR really does pop, and that's at the beginning of the movie with the IMAX scenes in Themyscira, and another IMAX scene towards the end. There's a scene where Steve and Gal Gadot are going through the invisible plane, right? And you got this beautiful array of fireworks, and that's a showcase right there, because those colors really do pop. I wish the rest of the movie was like that. I wish it popped even more, but it doesn't in the way you think. Now, the colors really do help, because like I said, you're in 1984 and it is a very colorful movie. But overall, comparing it to the 1080p Blu-ray, there's not that much of a difference in terms of HDR. There's also great shadow detail, and the nighttime scenes are very, very dark and inky. Very, very dark and inky. You're seeing a lot more detail in the dark scenes that you're not going to see on the 1080p Blu-ray. I saw certain things, I was like, oh, I didn't even recognize, I didn't even see you in 1080p, baby. And the visual effects, for the most part, are pretty good. It's the physics that let the visual effects down, right? But don't get me talking on Chia. Chia looks terrible, okay? Looks terrible. There's no way around that, okay? That's a horrible special effect. It seems like whenever we get to the third act, the movie suffers on both on the first Wonder Woman and the sequel, right? But what can you do? It is what it is. Now you look into your girl's eyes, whilst maintaining social distancing if you can. You tell her to sit on the woofer and see what happens. You know what's gonna happen? Nothing, because the Atmos on this is absolute garbage. This has one of the worst Atmos tracks I've ever heard, right? There's some overhead, but it was once, and I can't even remember when that was. There's great surround sound, and there's a great wide sound stage, but mostly it's low end. You got the dialogue, which is crispy and it's clear in the middle, and you're gonna hear things around you. But overhead is damn near 10%. It's practically non-existent. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you put this next to a 5.1 track, I doubt you'd be able to hear much of a difference. Okay, well maybe that's a little harsh, because there is definitely detailed sound here, but there's just nothing up top really. Nothing. I mean, there are some things that I was watching in this movie, I heard certain things, and I felt that it could have sounded a lot better than it did, right? It's not, even with the bad physics in this movie, don't get me started again on the physics, the sound could perhaps compensate for that. But guess what? It didn't. Not a fan of the Atmos, it's trash. I'm not going to spend more time on that, it's trash. Okay, it's gonna be better than a 5.1, I guess, but not by much. Your girl's gonna get off that speaker, come back to you unsatisfied, and slap you. And there we have it, people. Wonder Woman 84. I gave you my opinion on it. As far as the movie goes, I'm gonna give it a 6. As far as the transfer goes, I'll give it about a 7.8, 7.9. Not quite an 8. Not quite. And as far as the Atmos, oh god damn, I'm gonna give the Atmos a 5. Still the best way to watch the movie, I guess. It's better than the digital. Not by much. You could get away with just sticking with the digital, but if you want slightly better visuals, then you will go for the 4K Blu-ray disc. Physical wins every time at the end of the day, to be honest. Best way to watch it. So if you want to pick it up, just pick it up. I'm gonna leave some Amazon links for you guys. You can check it out. Right, listen. On a side point, what I'm really looking forward to is Justice League. I cannot wait for the Snyder cut of that. And also, Batman v Superman, the remaster, which is out in a week or two. Recoloring with the IMAX scenes added in. I can't wait. I'll be reviewing that for you guys also. And there it is, people. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's your boy brasstax. I'm back once again. 4K Rockstar. You already know.